President Trump's recent visit to Long Island continues to make national headlines. The president was in Suffolk County last Friday to discuss efforts to combat the violent MS-13 gang, which local police say is responsible for 17 murders over the last 18 months. The president vowed to wipe out the gang, but also raised a lot of eyebrows with the comments in which he appeared to be endorsing the rough treatment of suspects.
And when you see these thugs being thrown into the back of a paddy wagon, you just see them thrown in, rough. I said, please don't be too nice.
The White House called those comments a joke, but the acting head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, Chuck Rosenberg, rebuked the president in a letter to his staff, saying that his remarks, quote, condone police misconduct. The controversy is threatening to overshadow the president's important message about the rise of gang violence, especially in Long Island, where MS-13 is very much a frightening reality. And joining me now to talk about all that and more is Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin, who represents parts of Suffolk County. Congressman, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be on with you.
Now, Congressman, before we get into the president's visit to Long Island, let me ask you about his support for the new immigration proposal that he announced yesterday, an immigration proposal that has a lot of controversy because it would cut legal immigration to this country in half over the next 10 years and would shift the priority to merit. In other words, people would be allowed into this country if they had something to contribute, to summarize it, and less because of familiar connection. What's your take on that proposal, and how likely do you think that Congress would support it?
Well, for one, it didn't used to be so controversial. This is a proposal that when President Clinton was in the White House with liberal Democrat support, this was something that had momentum back then, 20 plus years ago. We're talking about permanent green card status. This isn't addressing the needed reforms and conversation that has to be had as it relates to the H-2A program or the H-2B program. Here on the east end of Long Island, we have the farmers, the tourism and hospitality industry. And from that standpoint, we've year after year been going through challenges where they're trying to get approvals for seasonal labor, and it's getting into the season before they finally get the approvals that they need, and money gets lost. So as far as the immigration system goes, there is a bigger picture conversation that needs to be had. This is part of it. Part of this conversation is about border security. Part of it's interior enforcement. Part of it is what do we do about the people who are here already. As far as the president's proposal here, I agree that we can absolutely be increasing the amount of people who are coming to our country and contributing as positively as possible, reducing the amount of people who come to our country and are looking more as a burden and not working hard. Which is certainly not the way to achieve the American dream by any means.
Okay, Congressman, real quickly, do you think it has support in the House? The Democrats have already said they're against it. Some Republicans said they're against it. Does it have a chance of passing?
I believe it does. I would like to read the proposal in detail. This was an announcement that was made yesterday. I'm aware of Senator Cotton, Senator Perdue's efforts over the course of the last few weeks and months in particular. But in order to build support, the first step is to be able to read the proposal in detail, because this is a proposal that's being formulated over in the other chamber, and we haven't been focused on it enough. But now, obviously, with the president weighing in, it's something that all members should be spending the month of August getting very familiar with, and if they have any ideas for improvements, to weigh in, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on.
All right, Congressman, let's turn to Long Island and the MS-13 gangs and the president's visit last week. You accompanied the president on Air Force One from Washington to Long Island. By most accounts, it was a successful meeting and discussion about MS-13. But then the president made that comment about implying that cops should be rough with suspects. Do you think what's your take on those comments, first of all? And do you think it overshadowed the important message that he had about MS-13?
Well, for one, just by the nature of the question, the fact that we're talking about the comment as opposed to the rest of the statement, the answer would have to be yes. As far as the statement itself, the president was obviously he was making a remark with regards to brutal MS-13 killers who are they're not using guns, they're using machetes in murdering my constituents and constituents of neighboring districts and tearing apart families and communities. And he made a comment about don't be too nice on them, which has been taken to all sorts of new levels and has been interpreted in the worst possible way. We have a president who, on more than one occasion, has been guilty of being politically incorrect. This is certainly another example of where he made a comment that that was taken all sorts of different ways. But I mean, it was obvious being in that room as he was saying it, listening to him, and knowing what his focus is on MS-13. He was talking about very brutal MS-13 killers, and he was saying, "Don't be too nice on them."
All right, Congressman.
I mean, you can have a debate, you can have a conversation on that, but the context has been taken in all sorts of new, different directions than the way he meant it.
So, Congressman, some folks are saying that the president's focus and, let's say, war against MS-13 will actually help MS-13 in the long run, because by targeting undocumented immigrants, the undocumented immigrants who are the primary victims of MS-13 will be hesitant to talk about MS-13 and their crimes. How do you respond?
Well, the president's targeting MS-13, and there's a Department of Homeland Security component, there's a Department of Justice component, there's the international aspect to it, and the policies of the unaccompanied immigrant minors who have come across our southern border. Before they get there, many of them held at gunpoint, having to smuggle drugs across the southern border if they want to complete the trip. Once they get to the other side of the border, they are given mandatory court appearances that they never show up at. The entire process, from the moment that Central American parent turns their kid over to that coyote, to the moment that they either join MS-13 or become a victim of MS-13, those kids are being set up to fail. So from that standpoint as well, working with local law enforcement, this is a team effort, multiple levels of government, but you're targeting MS-13. You have to hold them responsible for these crimes that are being committed, and you have to eradicate them. So confronting it head on and bringing all of the resources necessary to that effort is something that I strongly support and I praise. And it needs to get done, or MS-13 is not going to go away. Okay,
Congressman, in less than 30 seconds, I have to ask you about infrastructure. I know it's an issue that's important to you. The president in the past has proposed a $1 trillion infrastructure project or program, looking at the dire situation in our public transportation as well as in our roads and bridges. Would you and the Republicans be willing to invest $1 trillion to fix this country's infrastructure?
I think the $1 trillion is the number that is being discussed both by President Trump and on the other side of the aisle. There's a little bit difference of opinion on how to get there, but a $1 trillion package is the goal. The proposal on the other side of the aisle is $1 trillion of all taxpayer dollars. On our side of the aisle, the president proposed was that it's partially paid by taxpayer dollars, partially paid for with tax credits, and also trying to figure out how to unleash private capital through public-private partnerships. So those ideas certainly have merit as well. The overall goal is $1 trillion. We just have to figure out the best way to get there.
All right. Well, Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.